In our last video, we picked up a $400 BMW and it was a complete disaster. We did get it up and running. However, there are about 15 other things wrong with this car and y'all are about to see right now. The oil leaks on this BMW do not stop. We have a huge puddle of oil that we have to trace where it's coming from, but that's not all.
Now moving on to the engine bay itself, we have a really rough idle, and I'm thinking it may be our mass airflow sensors, so we're going to figure that out. And we also have a horrible suspension problem. When you're on the highway, this car literally bounces up and down. We think it's our shocks, but we don't fully know, so we'll get a tire off for you guys and show you that later in the video.
There's a lot that can cause this rough idle, right? However, I think it's better if we just take apart most of everything for the air. Basically like the mass airflow sensor, I'm gonna go ahead and remove that and clean it. This DISA box is known to go bad on these BMWs, so I guess we'll just check that. And the idle air control valve is down there as well. I might remove this air box as well just to get more room, but I'm gonna show you guys how to do all that. If you have an E46 and you wanna clean up all your sensors and stuff, it's a really good idea. I'm gonna use this flathead screwdriver. You can use this little pick too, it helps.
There's a clamp down there. Clamp. One down over here. Should just come off.
Look how dirty that is. That probably needs cleaned, guys. It looks very dirty for a mass airflow sensor. Make sure you only use mass airflow sensor cleaner. For some reason, a lot of people use throttle body cleaner. I have no idea why. It's not good at all. That's how you can damage your sensor. We'll have that dry out. If you've made it this far into the video, please remember to like and comment. It helps us a lot, guys. Plus, we're trying to grow a family over here. In order to grow a family with you guys, we need more subscribers. So please, go ahead and do that. I'm just wiping it around. Obviously, I mean, you don't have to do this, but I would. Just trying to really clean it off. Right now, we're just checking for rips. It doesn't look ripped, actually, which is a good sign, because usually they do break. I don't see any rips on this boot. Meaning we don't have to replace it. Honestly, I don't know why. We never checked the filter on this car ever since we got it. So, you know, it probably would be a good idea to check your filter. It's a really simple thing to do.
Oh my god.
This is horrible. It's not clean.
Into the trash it goes.
No. Well, we can just remove the box, guys, because it's really easy on this car. And if you guys do want to remove the box, all it is two 10mm. Undo the clips. That was a nice save. Take the mass airflow sensor out we just showed you, and then there's a little hose here. Other than that, you're good to go. It's really easy. Yeah, you can see so much now without the box.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vacuum all that.
Yeah. I'll just put in the sensor back on. But other than that, hopefully that helps some. Just takes a 6mm, you just tighten it back up. Put the sensor back in. We got a new filter ready to go in. We're just gonna put it right in here.
We just put everything back. Oh, I forgot to mention to you guys too. I said I was gonna remove the boot to get to the idle air control valve. However, we inspected it. There's like no rips in the boots. That can't cause a vacuum leak. We did clean that mass airflow sensor though. It was really, really dirty. It was like black in there. So I hope that does make a difference for the rough idle. We also cleaned out the whole air filter assembly. We just took the box out. It's really easy. It's just two 10mm. And basically it comes off. We vacuumed everything. So let's hope it's a little bit better at idle.
So now we're putting it in the drive, see if it idles bad. There is some vibration still. I don't know if you guys could see that. Yeah, it's still vibrating.
It is still vibrating, but it does feel a lot better. Before it would like shake really bad.
It violently shakes.
We're gonna clear that engine code too as well and see if it does come back. But it does feel a lot better.
So we did fix the idling issue at park. So that was our sensor, but we do have an idling issue when in drive, right at like when you get to like a light or a stop sign, it idles horribly. So that is our transmission mounts and our engine mounts, but we were unable to really like show you fully how it looks and all. But basically those need replaced to fix the idling in drive.
Right now we're trying to figure where our leak is coming from. I suspect it's the oil pan because the oil pan is caked in oil. So I have a really high feeling that it is our pan is what's causing the oil leak. As you guys can see, we do have a small baby coolant leak. Nothing concerning though. It is just a little bit of seepage right here. It's not that big of a deal. It's a little bit. These coolant lines do go bad. We do have a brand new belt though. That is always a beautiful sign.
Look at the gaskets, guys. That is caked in oil right there. This is what we didn't want it to be. We were praying it wasn't gonna be our oil pan.
But it is.
But it is. The parts take about like 5 days to come in. So we'll have to do that another video. But it's not a fun job. You gotta remove your engine mounts. That's the easiest part. You gotta remove your control arms. You have to, there's a lot. There's transmission lines you gotta remove. It's like the pan, it's not put in the prettiest of places where it's easy to like get to. So we gotta wait for that part to come and then we can do it for you guys. Right now we're doing the oil change. We're removing the oil filter. Basically it's a 36 millimeter. It's really easy on this car. Is it not a 36? No, it is. Some idiot just made it very, very tight. Yeah, that's another thing. Always remember to oil the seal, guys. Do not be that one lube tech that doesn't. I really don't like them at all. And no mechanic does because it makes it almost impossible to get the filter back out next time you do your oil change. All right, we are using Mobile One. Now, always use 5W40 for these cars or a very high viscosity. Don't use 5W30, what they recommend. And the reason for that is most of these cars are gonna have high mileage. If you're gonna use a thinner oil, it's gonna burn really quickly. You always wanna be using 5W40. So this came with the Volvo actually when we bought the liquid moly package. I just never used it in that car because it doesn't really have any oil consumption issues. This thing has a huge oil problem though, and it will help leaks as well. So we're going to be using it today. Right now we've taken the tire off so we can show you guys the suspension. We're trying to figure out what's going on under here since it floats up and down on the highway.
These have great tread on them.
They do. Oh, well, they're like brand new. Literally. That's like 95% live.
That you could see the original. Like this is brand new.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so we got the wheel off. We're just from looking at it right now, the shocks are leaking. I mean, look at that crud up here. You can see it all just leaking down. So we're definitely gonna get coilovers here very soon for it. I think that's partially our issue with why we're bouncing up and down when we hit any little bump on the highway. But other than that, everything really looks pretty good. Our brakes look decent. This is kind of warped a little. You can see a little. It's not bad. Our control arms look pretty new for the most part. Other than that, we just need coilovers, so we're gonna get that ordered also for this car. Let's get the wheel back on and we will recap everything that needs to be done.
Let's recap on everything we're gonna need of the BMW. Now, we're gonna definitely get coilovers. That's number one. Replace these nasty leaky shocks, get some good performance coilovers. Also, the oil pan gasket is leaking. So whether we end up doing it or not, we still need to buy it. It is a huge job though. And number three, we're gonna need transmission and motor mounts to stop the vibration at idle. All right guys, thank you so much for watching the video today. We are going to order parts really soon for this vehicle, especially coilovers to fix that leaky suspension. Also, the Volvo is not going anywhere. We will be installing the carbon fiber intake on it really soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, peace.